Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do my mid-year check-in. So I'm gonna go over my statistics from the beginning of January till basically as I'm filming right now, and then I'm gonna do my least favourite books or ones that I've DNF'd, then my ones that I've greatly enjoyed, and then the ones I'm really looking forward to reading in the second half of the year. So my total reading count as of filming today, right now, on the, I can't remember what day it is, on the 25th of July is 130 books. My average, I've got them written down because I knew I wouldn't remember them, but my average books per month is 18.6. And the month I read the most books was May, which was 28. I think it might have been 25 actually. I don't know if that was written down right. We'll see. And then my total page count is 48,870 pages. When I looked at my statistics on Bookmori, I had read most of them were like paperback. I've read 12 ARCs, so advanced readers copies, and I've only DNF'd one of them. The books I've DNF'd this year, as I said, one of them was a ARC that I just couldn't get into. It wasn't formatted right. I do believe it's out now. It's called Nocta by Lana Sky, and it was a dark romantasy. I definitely think some people will enjoy it, but the layout and the format just wasn't for me. And the other book that I DNF'd this year is Afterlife by Stephanie Hudson. I just could not get into it. It was recommended to me by my mum, and it dragged too much, and it was too long for me. I think I DNF'd about halfway through, which for me was good going because I wanted to give up like 3 chapters in, and I tried to persevere and just couldn't. And onto my least favourite books. I will put photos somewhere around me of the covers of them so you can see for yourself what they look like and stuff. But my first book that I really didn't enjoy this year, it was 2 stars, and it was Weather by Jenny Offhill, and it was too modern and contemporary for me. It features around a woman who kind of hates life, and you can tell she hates life, but she's also a feminist and really modern, and it was a lot of nonsense to me, really. But then again, I am more of a fantasy romance reader, so I guess if you're more of a literary fiction or like contemporary fiction, you'll probably really enjoy that type of book. But that was Weather by Jenny Offhill. And then the last book that I really struggled, which was 2.5 stars, is The Hurricane Wars by Thea Guanzon. It's a fantasy, and I know everyone really liked it. I did like it toward the end, but for the majority, it was just too slow. Like, too slow, but also like too quick. And overall, it was just a really drawn out type of fantasy for me. Like, most of it was world description, which I love world description, but give me world description and action, or give me world description and character building, not just like world description with a lot of information that kind of hurts my brain, because that book did hurt my brain. But as I said, I will put the covers around me somewhere as I'm talking about the books that I don't have, because I don't have these 2 because I circulate my books a lot, so some of them go to family and some of them go to friends and stuff, so if I really didn't like them, they'll have been moved off my shelf quite quickly. So now I'll go on to my best books of 2024 so far. So on to books that I thoroughly have enjoyed this year so far. And we are starting off with Beyond the Aching Door by Victoria Meyer. And when I say this book blew me out of the water straight away, I'm not kidding. It's the best fantasy I've read in quite a while. It follows Regan, who is a struggling journalist, and her discovery that not everything in her life is as it seems, and that her father might have kept some interesting stuff from her in terms of her background and family history, and she meets a unseelie king called Oberon, and they go on a fantastic journey, and they both realise that they haven't met each other before, and it is excellent, and the best fantasy I've read, well, one of the best fantasies I've read so far this year. I found this book via Bookstagram. Victoria was one of the first people that I actually read an arc for, and it was this book, and I absolutely fell in love with her writing. Just everything about it is absolutely phenomenal, and if you don't like keep an eye out for indie authors, you definitely should, because I think supporting them is just so important. And I have been doing other stuff for Victoria now for quite a while, because she has the second book in the duology out soon. I will plug it here. It's called Beneath the Buried Sea, and it's going to be just as fantastic. But if you love fated mates, Celtic mythology, you will absolutely love this. Also, the main male character is about as morally grey as they come, and it's delightful. I'll read you the back of this book, and I'll try find an actual blurb. I think it might be in the front. So on the back it just says, a mortal journalist, a mysterious series of drownings, an exiled fey king, a forgotten fate song, one last desperate chance to save magic from extinction. If that doesn't make you want to read this book and live your best fantasy life, then I don't know what will. Like I said, the description, the characters, the fact that Regan isn't perfect, and she admits to being that. She's fiery, she's stubborn, she's passionate. She has a lot of battles to go through. Emotionally, she's just so complex, but you absolutely love her. And it's also plus size representation, because she's not a stick figure of a female character, which we love. So yeah, this book has had my heart and soul, and I would definitely recommend you following Victoria on Instagram, because she does amazing posts to promote her books. She interacts with all the people that love her books, and she's just one of the nicest indie authors I think I've known in quite a while. I say no, but connected with. And if you want to see my full review of this book, it's on my Instagram, and I will definitely be reviewing the second in the duology, which is Beneath the Buried Sea, and I believe it is out in September at some point. You can pre-order now though. And I got my hands on this lovely copy of the book from the shop that I believe Victoria runs, called The Spiral Bookcase. And they actually do plenty of special editions on there as well, so if you're looking for special editions of books, especially fantasy and romancy, you'll probably find something good there. But yeah, this is Beyond the Aching Door by Victoria Meir. Now, book number 2 is a straight sports romance, and it's Mile High by Liz Tom Ford. When I tell you I laughed, cried, giggled, kicked my legs at this, I mean it. It's an amazing novel. It features around Xander and Stevie. Xander is the misunderstood male character who's actually got a heart of gold. He is also a hockey player, so it's a hockey sports romance for everyone that loves that. And Stevie is again a plus-sized female character, which we love, and she is joined as an air stewardess for the Chicago team's plane, and there is so much banter, there's so much love, there's so much understanding. Xander is actually a male character who went to therapy before the start of the book, which I think is amazing. You do see him have some therapy in the book, which is just as good. The way he treats Stevie like she isn't breakable is really good. And I just, it was 5-star read for me. Again, all of these books have been 5-star reads that I'm talking about, because there's just something about them that keeps me hanging on. I've yet to read the rest of this series, but I need to. It has been all over my Instagram. I'm in so many book engagement groups and romance book groups that have read this, and I highly agree that it is fabulous. And if you're going to read a sports romance, I'd definitely start with this, just because it's a nice and easy one. I feel like it's not too much sports in it, so if you're not a full sports girl like I am, it was a really nice, easy way to get into sports romance, and I'm hooked. I think I definitely prefer Stevie over Xander. I think Xander is a great character. I just wish sometimes he could have let go of some of his past expectations and thought process a bit sooner, but then it wouldn't have been a great book. So yes, that's just my little comment at the end. But this is again Mile High by Liz Tom Ford, and it was 5 stars. Shockingly, we have another fantasy, because I am a fantasy girl. Always have been, always will be. My favourite books will always end up being fantasy. And we have House of Earth and Blood. I was going to say House of Blood and Earth, and I know it's backwards. House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J Maas. This is the first Crescent City book. I read it at the beginning of this year, and when I say I haven't been able to let this book leave my thoughts, I mean it. It follows Breeze and her life in Crescent City, which is a very futuristic city, but there's like a mix of people around, and it's really good. There's like so many characters, and the first book is a lot of world, but getting too excited. The first book is a lot of world building, but it is entirely worth it if you can get past the first couple of chapters, because oh my god, I fell in love with Hunt. I love her, and I have no problems with that. I love the guy. He's if you've read Sarah J Maas, he's like the new Rowan / Rysand. He's kind of that guy. So you know he's like the main love interest. I love it. And again, plus size representation from Breeze. She has a lot of issues, a lot of trauma she goes through at the beginning of the book that you feel really bad for, because it's brutal. But she gets there, and she's badass, and she fights, and she doesn't need anyone to stick up for her or defend her. She's amazing. Can you tell that I really like Breeze Quinlan? But as it says, Breeze, bound by blood, tempted by desire, unleashed by destiny. Breeze Quinlan used to light up Crescent City, partying all night in the clubs where the strict classes of angel, shifter, human, and fae merge into a sea of beautiful bodies. And then a demon murdered her closest friends. 2 years later, when the supposed killer is behind bars but the crime starts up again, the city's leaders command Bryce to investigate. They assign an enslaved fallen angel, Hunt Alafair, to make sure she does. But as Breeze tries to uncover the truth and resist her attraction to the brooding angel, who shadows her every step, she finds herself following a trail that leads deep into her own dark past. The banter between the two characters also is amazing. I can't recommend reading this series enough. I would say, because I think I know because I think they're all going to connect in the end, I would definitely read the other two Sarah J Maas series first. But yeah, it's really amazing. I can completely understand why people wouldn't like the amount of world building that is in this to begin with. But as a proper fantasy girl who's read Terry Pratchett and the world building behind that is so chaotic, I actually didn't think this was too bad. So if you've read high fantasy before, I think you will really love this book. And again, it was 5 out of 5 stars for me. I will say I've realised that all of my main characters have plus size representation, which we love. I think the one thing I have been lacking in my reading journeys this year is disabled representation. So if anyone knows any indie authors or any authors in general that feature disability in their writing, I would absolutely love to read it, especially if it's a wheelchair user, because I want to feel seen in books, and I don't always. It's great that other people get representation, but I feel like the disabled community get left behind a lot, and I'd like to change that. Who knows, I might end up having to just write my own. We'll see. But yes, so my top 3 for this year so far: Beyond the Aching Door by Victoria Mia, Mile High by Liz Tom Ford, and House of Earth and Blood, Crescent City Novel 1 by Sarah J Maas. I'm now going to move on to the books that I'm really excited to be able to read in the next 6 months of 2024. So now we're going to move on to my grossly anticipated for the next 6 months of 2024. And a lot of people will probably recognise this book that I'm holding right now, because as per usual, I am behind on trends, and this and Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell is going to be my first Lisa Jewell book of ever, and I am very excited. I'll quickly read the blurb and then I'll talk about it a bit more. She was 15, her mother's golden girl. She had her whole life ahead of her, and then, in the blink of an eye, Ellie was gone. 10 years on, Laurel has never given up hope of finding Ellie, and then she meets a charming and charismatic stranger who sweeps her off her feet. But what really takes her breath away is when she meets his 9-year-old daughter, because his daughter is the image of Ellie. Now all those unanswered questions that have haunted Laurel come flooding back. What really happened to Ellie, and who still has secrets to hide? This sounds so good. Right up my street for a thriller. I think it's definitely going to be more psychological. And I am just so excited to read it. I can understand the hype after reading that blurb of Lisa Jewell, and hopefully it'll lead me on to reading some other books. I will now go on to the next one. I am taking a massive jump and leap of faith with this next book, which is, and bear with me while I pronounce the names of the authors in a minute, but What Are You Looking For in the Library by, I'll just show the cover before I turn it around to read it. What You Are Looking For in the Library by Michiko Ayoma. Yeah, so this is from my independent bookstore that I absolutely love, that I've mentioned in the previous video, the book circle in Selby. And I've never been one to kind of go to watch Japanese fiction. However, I have been seeing massive leaps of people reading stuff like this on my bookstagram and just in general, so I've decided to take a leap and go for something that I wouldn't normally go for and see how it pans out. I'll quickly read the blurb and then I'll discuss my feelings a bit more. What Are You Looking For? This book is going to be really hard to read, so bear with me, hang on. Please don't question or I kind of destroy the book in front of the camera. Please forgive me. It hasn't been opened before, so it's really hard to read the blurb because it's on the inside, so I'm hoping if I just give it a bit of a squish, it should work. There we go. All fixed. What are you looking for? So asks Tokyo's most enigmatic librarian. For Sayuri Komachi is able to sense exactly what each visitor to her library is searching for and provide just the book recommendation to help them find it. A restless retail assistant looks to gain new skills. A mother tries to overcome demotion at work after maternity leave. A conscientious accountant yearns to open an antique store. A recently retired salaryman searches for newfound purpose. In Komachi's unique book recommendations, they will find just what they need to achieve their dreams. What You Are Looking For is in the Library is about the magic of libraries and the discovery of connection. This inspirational tale shows how, by listening to our hearts, seizing opportunity and reaching out, we too can fulfill our lifelong dreams. Which book will you recommend? It just sounds really cute and cozy and definitely like an autumnal read that I will absolutely love. It does say the Japanese bestseller as well. So I just think the cover is so pretty, especially with the foil, and it being foil pink is great. I do also have another two. I have the days at the the days at the Mori bookshop. I'm going to say that because I can't say the full name. Please forgive me. I know I'm probably butchering it. I've got both of those books to read and I'm very much looking forward to them as well. I really like the idea of like books written about books and bookshops and library books. I recently read the story life of A.J. Furkey and that was amazing. I loved it. So I'm really excited to read other books that feature around books because I'm that much of a bookworm that I would love to. And it also makes my head go a bit funny because I'm like, I'm reading a book about a book. It's just great. So let's go on to the next book. Now, The Serpent and the Wings of Night has featured in my last video, I believe, because it was in my haul. However, I am so excited to read this book. I've been wanting to read it for ages, as I said, I think in one of my previous videos. I'm definitely hoping to buddy read it with a friend that I've got on Bookstagram. So I think that'll make it even more fun. It's fantasy, romantic vibes, which, if you've been watching my videos, you know that fantasy, romance, I'm not a girl. I will be there. with bells and whistles and probably some tinsel on my chair because I love romance that much. But let me read the blurb for you. Human or vampire, the rules of survival are the same. Never trust, never yield, and always, always guard your heart. The adopted human daughter of the night-born vampire king, Araya carved her place in a world designed to kill her. Her only chance to become something more than prey is to enter the Kahari, a legendary tournament held by the goddess of death herself. But winning won't be easy against the most vicious warriors from all three vampire houses. To survive, Araya will be forced to make an alliance with a mysterious rival. Everything about Ran is dangerous. He is a ruthless vampire, an efficient killer, an enemy to her father's crown and her greatest competition. Yet what terrifies Araya most of all is that she finds herself strangely drawn to him. But there's no room for compassion in the Kahari, and nothing more deadly than love. Can we just take a minute to appreciate how that last line is so cool? Like, it's just great. I love it. And then Publishers Weekly says it's an addictive enemies to lovers romance. Fans of dark romance won't want to miss this. So, of course, you know, your girl got it. And I got it gifted, actually, so I'm really happy that I got it gifted, because I just can't wait to read it. And I think if I buddy read it, I'll be really happy. Though I feel, I'm going to put a disclaimer out there that I feel really bad for anyone that buddy reads with me, because I read so quick. So this could take someone like a couple of weeks to read, and for me, it'll be like a week at the most if I'm having a bad week. But I devour books. It's why I circle through them a lot, because I'm constantly like, okay, next. Probably why I've managed to get 130 books read this year so far, and it's only 6 months in. Please don't judge. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to buddy reading this if I can keep. I might have to set myself like a challenge of like a couple of chapters a week if I'm buddy reading with someone, just so they can keep up with me. But now my apology is live on YouTube and it's fine. So yeah, this is The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. On to my last most anticipated book of 2024. The last book that I'm going to talk about that I'm most really excited about is one that's actually going to be coming up for me to read soon, because it was on my to be read list that I pick out of my jar, and it is Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. And again, it's one that's took over my Instagram for quite a few weeks at one point or another. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm falling in love with cowboy romance and ranch romance and just men of southern places in America romance. So Done and Dusted by Lila Sage seems right up my street. We can see that I got it for £3 from the works, which is a steal. And let me read the back of it for everyone. She's off limits, but he's never been good at following the rules. Discover the sizzling Brother's Best Friend small town romance that went viral on TikTok. Now in a special edition with an exclusive sneak peek at the next book in the series and a Q&A with the author. For the first time in her life, Clementine Emmy Ryder has no idea what she's doing. She's accomplished everything on her to-do list. She left a small hometown of Meadowlark, Wyoming, went to college, and made a career for herself by doing her favourite thing, riding horses. But after an accident makes it impossible for her to get back into the saddle, she has no choice but to return to the hometown she always wanted to escape. Luke Brooks is Meadowlark's most notorious bad boy, bar owner and bachelor. He's also the unofficial fifth member of the Ryder family. As Emmy's older brother's best friend, Luke spent most of his childhood antagonising her. It's been years since he's seen her, but when she walks into his bar and back into his life, he can't take his eyes off her. Against his better judgment, he wants to do a whole lot more than just look at her. As things between Emmy and Brooks heat up, it gets more difficult for him to keep his hands off her. Can he help her get her spark back? Or will they both go up in flames? Doesn't that just sound amazing? And it's not a chunky book, so it's probably going to be an easy read, but I'm really excited. And I do have Swiftens saddled on my shelf ready to go for the next book after, when it appears on my TBR list. So yes, I'm very excited, and I just can't wait. Can we just take a minute to appreciate how beautiful the cover is? It's so colourful and nice, and just so that excited that I love my glasses. I'll take them off and sort of deal with them in a minute. But yes, this is Done and Dusted by Violet Sage, and I just can't wait. Appreciate how beautiful. Well, that is all the books that I wanted to talk about for my mid-year 2024 roundup. I'm so excited. I'm not that excited that I've lost my glasses. They are back on my face, so that was fun. And yeah, I can't believe that I read so much so far this year. And I just want to say that I've only been on Bookstagram for 6 months, but to know that there is like so many of you that are following me and helping me share my posts and loving the content that I'm making, it really makes me feel really special. Well, not special, but like appreciate. Well, yes, special. We'll go with special because I put so much energy into my posts and my reviews, and everything I make is so much more energy because of my disability. And I'm not saying that to get sympathy or to be inspirational, because I hate being inspirational, but it's true. I sometimes get up in the morning and really can't be bothered to do anything, but then I go on Bookstagram and I see a post idea and I'm like, oh my god, I want to do that, let's do that right now. Whereas when I was posting about my disability stuff, I kind of lost my love for it, in terms of it didn't feel like I was being heard. But I also have this platform now where, because I'm posting about books, I know that there's some people that genuinely care about what I think about my books, which is amazing, because I swear to God, I've probably drained so many people around me with talking about books. Thankfully, I have carers that love reading and they love helping me organise my bookshelf. Otherwise, I definitely think I would be very, very screwed, because I generally don't know how people put up with my love for books so much. So being able to share it on the internet with people that are the same, and find communities and people in my local area that I didn't know that were into books, it's great. And I just want to put a massive thank you out there for everything that people have done, and indie authors who have really appreciated my reviews, because like I said, I just put so much effort in and I give so much, and it's so nice to kind of receive back and receive that love and those compliments of, that's a great review, or I love the aesthetic of your post, because it took me a while to find my way. And at the same time, I have to do what's best for my body. So sometimes my posts will probably be less decorative. They'll still have all the information, but sometimes I'm like, crap, I have to do that post because I said I'd do the review. But I found a way that works for me. And I appreciate all the understanding and the fact that I'm in book engagement groups, but I can go, sorry guys, I'm really struggling today, I will catch up, I promise I'll catch up, and they go, yeah, it's fine, don't worry about it. Like, nobody can understand from my perspective how great and encouraging it feels to know I have that community that just is similar to me. So I'm going to stop being really soppy and complimentary now, and I'm going to say, if you have read any of the books that I've talked about, please leave a comment down below and tell me what your thoughts and feelings were. Tell me what your top book for 2024 was. So far, anyway. I keep thinking it's the end. It's not the end. My brain. And let me know what your least favourite one was, or the one you can't get out of your head. Comment down below. Start a conversation with me, because I want to start having conversations with people on YouTube as well, not just on Instagram. And any and all engagement means the world to me. I'm up to 30 followers as of making this video, 30 subscribers even on YouTube, and that fills me with joy as well. So thanks to everyone here who's watching this video right now, because you make my day a little brighter. As always, please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and share my videos with your friends, your family, random people on the internet. Just share me far and wide, because I want to connect with as many people as possible. Thanks for watching, and I hope to interact with you in the next video.